Hi everyone, this is Michelle again from the Raise Your Vibe podcast with Michelle. I am so excited to introduce to you Andrea Housey. Is that how I... Housey. Okay, awesome. And we've met online as you do. And I'm going to ask you just to introduce yourself and say a little bit about what you do.
Okay, so I am a healer. That's my main title. I'm a teacher. And lately what I've been called by my guides is a blueprint master. So what that means is, so I had to ask for a specification of that title because it's so foreign to me. But basically what they say is that they have the ability to see people's blueprints, see their essence, their code per se. And I'm able to see their potential, and I'm also able to see kind of where they need healing. Yes. And I just literally open a window for them and let them see their opportunities and their future.
Yeah. It's so incredible that you say that, because I mean, we have never met before, and I have been told I'm a blueprinter. And
oh, you did that? Really?
Yes. So and crazy. It's been at the back of my bloody mind. I kind of like, oh well, nobody's talking about it, so I just will keep my mouth shut about it.
No one. I mean, I'm actually redoing my website, and it's. I was asked to actually put it on my title. I'm going like, this is crazy because I really never talk about it.
I know, not a lot of people talk about it. I found out about it and went and dug in the internet a little bit more and found this one lady who was doing blueprint readings. And she said she'd only come across 4 ever in her whole lifetime of doing, because she was a bit older. She said in her whole lifetime.
So now we're 6, Michelle.
Well, absolutely. I mean, look, I absolutely believe the universe brings people together to, for a certain, thing that we need to either activate in each other or learn or confirm or whatever. And I mean, that is so incredible, because I have always believed I do these soul code paintings, which actually bring the codes in for you. And if you have one of these paintings that I've done specifically for you, then that will be like a blueprint code for you to energetically pull into. And it will correct you on a soul
level. Memories, right? Yes. It's just about activating your memories. Yes. I love that.
And it's just on a subconscious level. Every time you look at the painting, it's going to basically align you. It's going to be streaming while you do that. But when I first started doing this and learned about the blueprinter and understood that I was one of them, I mean, if I'd opened my mouth and said that at the time, so it's been so hard for me to try and I mean, I placed myself in the bottom of the bloomin' earth in little old New Zealand, which is so far away from everything. I mean, obviously I did it for a reason, but that is fascinating. So tell me more.
Well, I mean, what can I tell you? I have this incredible ability to just kind of see things maybe in a way that most people don't. And I tend to simplify things. I tend to make things really simple. I want everyone to be able to understand the concept from a little child to a very well-educated person.
When I speak to my daughter, when I first told her about, she was starting to go through, she doesn't like me and I don't like her and she hurt me. And I just said to her, but it's simple. If you don't feel good now next to a person, after you've spent some time, spend less time. You don't have to cut them out of your life. Just spend less time with them, because the people that make you feel good, that's a good energy. And then just, it's simple for me. It's like, well, why wouldn't you? And that's why I say, I think like you say, but the downfall of a blueprinter is, and a lot of people are like this, I see the beauty in you. I see what you can be.
I see all your potential. I see your potential. I see, and that's kind of what I tell people. This is kind of what I see. It's possible. Yes. Now, if I can get you to believe it,
exactly,
then, girl,
the highest timeline for this lifetime, and then you know, and you just go with that, and you jump into that timeline without getting sidetracked.
For sure. And I tried to do it in simple ways. I found out that looking at their birth code or their numerology, it's an easy, simple way for them to kind of understand in linear. Like yes. I get a lot of people who need linear first.
Yes.
So we go there, and I'm able to tell someone, like, for example, you're 29, 2911. So I can just go ahead and say to them, hey, I'm just going to put it simple for you. You're here to support people, finish it.
Well, that's the thing, is I'm an 11, okay, and I'm in a Chiron year coming up in May, from May onwards, and I mean, I'm laughing when I'm reading about what is actually the purpose. It's me in relationships and learning to trust people, because I don't trust people. I kind of like, I love them, but I've learned, as I've got older, I learned that people can hurt you deeply. So learning to understand that is the sort of to work through, and it is one of my big things that I wanted to learn this lifetime.
Yeah, so it's interesting, because I feel that trust, it has to do with unconditional love.
And for oneself.
That's where I mean by the unconditional love for self, because we tend to, we tend to be so worried about whether someone else is going to do to us or how they're going to treat us. But really what we're doing is we're doing self-protection, as opposed to just seeing people for being people and not creating story attached to the outcome of what we think is going to happen. So, girl, we can talk all day about this.
Oh, absolutely. Because I mean, we decided we just met and we started talking, and then we got into some juicy stuff about Egypt and Machu Picchu and whatever. And we thought, oh God, we better press record, because this is going to be, all the good stuff's going to go. And we...
Yes. So I love your story about we don't need to physically go anywhere to experience and to be able to heal or to be able to activate. It's a matter of choice, in my opinion.
Exactly, because I'll just give the listeners a background. I was saying that I've always wanted to go to Egypt and Machu Picchu, because I detected your accent, and you said you came from South America. And I said, oh, I've always wanted to go to Machu Picchu. And then I said, well, but the drive to go to Egypt now is less, because I did 5 days of intensive meditation and work, and actually went down the River Nile, had Horus behind me, and working with Isis close on, like, it felt like as a friend. She was like my closest ally. And then putting my hand on the Sphinx, all those points and activations that I did within that time, I have an absolute no wish to go specifically to, and I've had this confirmed because I do automatic writing. My guides have said to me, you don't need to do it in the physical, you can do it energetically.
Yeah, because you were there, right?
Absolutely, I was there. We're so powerful if we only knew how powerful we are.
Well, that's where you and I come in. And that's what makes me really excited about this kind of work, is helping people understand that once they stand in that power and they have the power of choice, then all these multiple possibilities come in. And
Absolutely.
then you're just experiencing whatever.
Well, this is how I've fortunately got to this point now where I am just loving being on this planet now. I'm loving I'm loving the life that I've created. I'm loving everything. I'm absolutely, I love food. I love everything, because I have obviously realized that this is such an honor to be here on this.
Well, that you chose to experience life. You chose to experience, absolutely. I call it flesh.
Yeah, I put my hand up and said, I want to do this, knowing that I would be locked in for a long time in this realm. Because obviously, I don't know how you feel about it, but we've got other lives, other lives that we're living in other realms concurrently.
I agree with you.
I know.
It's just that this one, we chose to experience the heaviness of the body,
yes,
the pain of being heartbroken, the difficulty about self-image, the judgment of not
emotional,
getting
the emotional.
Oh, yes.
Because I've seen many of my lifetimes where I've actually given up my light to look after a sick one, or not to travel with a loved one because I felt obligated to another one.
Yes.
And, obviously in business and that type of thing, learning the different lifetimes I've seen, 1 or 2 lifetimes where I've been super successful, but at the end of it felt very alone, and no no support, no loving, no nothing, because I was super wealthy and but I was and obviously a lot of us have gone there and seen those lifetimes where we are the perpetrator. We have been the perpetrator.
And I think that's why it's so important to have people like you and I, because then, and this time around, we have someone, a guide that can read your blueprint and say, hey, let's wake up a little. Let's redirect. You can still do what you're doing, but let's do it in a different way. So then maybe at the end, you'll feel more fulfilled.
Yeah. And it's understanding, like watching, people go through the process of losing someone or losing, focus, or and understand. I can see it from a galactic point of view rather than from a humanist point of view. Some people can do psychedelics or whatever, like ayahuasca, whatever, and come through it, and other people just aren't strong enough to do that because they're going to be completely and utterly ungrounded afterwards and lose it completely, and the journey just gets longer, because you kind of like, I don't know if you listen to Phil Good at all. He's incredible. Do yourself a favor, go and listen to Phil Good he's on Instagram, and he basically was saying that it's like you're driving or you're flying and you get waylaid, it stops if you stop and go down like a rabbit hole. And I always say, it's like we've all left the petrol station or the city at the same time, but some of us get a flat tire, others have engine trouble, and we're all going to the same place. So none of us are ahead of it. It's just, some of us have dodged something or made a good decision and gone around it. And
in my opinion, it's about what are you choosing to experience in your journey, right? And sometimes we choose to just kind of go through the journey and just whatever. And other times we wake up and we start becoming very aware of our journey. And then we're like, okay, well, I do have a flat tire. Where did that come from? How's this going to propel me or delay me? So it's just, for me, it's more about being aware of where you are, so that you really are not missing out, right? Because we think we're missing out by not having it. But missing out is by being in it and not being aware that you are.
Absolutely. And it's about, that age-old thing, coming back into the present. Be present right now. You are exactly where you're supposed to be.
Yes.
And sitting in gratitude of where you are and who's around you. And I'm always so excited when a new person comes into my sort of energy field. Like, I'm so excited to meet you because I'm going, oh my goodness,
it's so funny.
It's like so cool. Am I going to learn a massive lesson? Are you going to learn it? Are we both going to learn it? Like, what is the purpose? Why did this happen? Because of nothing happens randomly.
No, nothing. And I always have this kind of view on relationships as we're just kind of blessings. We just kind of come in and I have this magic wand and I just kind of go boop, and I just kind of bless you in this moment, and we have this great connection and energy amplifies. And then you're doing the same thing for me. And I'm grateful for the moment. Maybe there won't be many more, but we did something important in this moment. And that's that this is reality, right? That we're experiencing this right now.
And what I keep wanting to try and explain to people is like, in the galaxy, we are great souls, great people, energies that work together. So if you have a grandmother or a partner or somebody who triggers you terribly, understand that that person put their hand up and said, I love you so much. I'm going to go down and I'm going to be your trigger and you're going to learn this lesson. And if you don't, we'll do it again. I love you that much. So when you learn a lesson and you let them go, you go, oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you so much.
Yeah, I usually say that the difficult people in my life, the people who had really difficult roles for me, are my greatest teachers, and I am so grateful. And at the end, it feels like I love them more.
Yes,
it's kind of silly to say it that way, but I do. I love them more because they show me an aspect of myself that I would have not been able to see.
No, and would not have been uncovered, put it that way, without them coming in and amplifying whatever it was needed to come up and show up.
For sure. I mean, I always use the example of my old business partner and how difficult that relationship was for me, and how angry I was at her, and I was just blaming the whole thing on her. And then there was a day that I woke up and I was like, she is very innocent. She has done nothing.
Exactly.
It has been all you.
Well, this is the thing. Hey, I mean, I thank the one guy in my life that gave me such huge lessons. I mean, I thank him. And he gave me business lessons as well. And my other business partner at the time, we both hugged one another when he left and said, thank you so much for giving us those lessons, because we will never do this and this and this again, and we won't be and thank you so much. I will not be here
talking to you right now if it wouldn't been for that person, if I would have not had my heart broken that way, if I wouldn't have my ass whipped that way.
Absolutely.
Right?
I am stronger. And I mean, I am very well aware of the fact that I have, circumstances have given me the surname Courage. And whenever I kind of start doubting, I go, Michelle, you've got a surname. You clearly wanted this to be hammered home.
Yeah, and you know what? And at the same time, we're going back to that compassion aspect and unconditional love. My favorite part is when I can go back and tell that person or that higher aspect of that person, I love you.
Well,
I'm grateful.
I've done so much of that work energetically, because I've moved countries now, and it's easier to go back and meet that higher self.
Yes.
And just because you lose contact, and and for me often they may not be at that point in their life where they can actually give you that release.
In my opinion, it's even better, Michelle, that you don't do it face to face, because then we have, as humans, we have that attachment of wanting forgiveness or wanting closure. That is so human, right? But when I can sit here and I can do it at a higher level and understand that at that place we're good, it's done.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's so much cleaner.
Yes. Oh, it's so amazing. I've just had this image of us two meeting in the galaxy, like meeting up, this like boom.
Well, cool. I love the boom.
Cool.
That what's so funny, that most people would describe me as that. I'm just boom.
Well, you know what? I've struggled with that whole story. I am 6 foot. I'm built like a brick shit house, and I love food. And I've got a massive personality. When I come into a room, I literally shift the energy. And, growing up, that's a tough one to go through. Even though I've got the confidence, I'm super sensitive. So people kind of look at you and they go, oh, you're so like confident. Well, I'm not actually, but I can't help this person that I am, that this is who I am. And coming to terms with that has been a long journey.
So what I understood, because what you're describing is what I felt growing up. I'm actually the opposite. I'm very short. extremely short. I'm 4'11". I'm tiny. So, and my husband is 6 foot tall. So when we would go anywhere, I'd be like, oh my gosh, people are just staring. You know, it was this story that you create about what you look like,
Our
you know,
patterns.
and when I realized that they were not being attracted, or they were not necessarily seeing my size or what I look like, but that what they were sensing was my energy.
Ooh.
And it was startling them because it was so big and uplifting. Then I was like, oh, okay, I can deal with that.
Exactly, because that's the thing. I mean, I have often come into a space and I've often felt like, oh my word, especially when I moved to New Zealand, I needed to kind of tone it down, because South Africans are much larger than life. They're loud, like South Americans, I think, you know, much more open and loud. And I realized in New Zealand, they're quite suppressed. And so everything, you don't show your big gestures and you show your big emotion. You don't show how wealthy you are. And there are wonderful aspects to this learning that I've learned living here. But it's been quite a journey for me to get to that point of acceptance, of understanding that that's my job to come in and cause a ruckus in the chicken house.
That's right. That's what you meant to do, right? To come in and just shake them up a little bit.
Exactly. And you know, it's just been interesting. It's been an interesting journey for doing that. So yeah, oh my word. So you do obviously online sessions.
I am starting, you know, at the beginning of our conversation, we were talking about how the whole pandemic thing has shifted my life, or our lives, as professionals, right? Because I prefer the one-on-one. That's
absolutely.
what makes
I feel the connection that you can get is just unbelievable. And then I feel it more intensely as well, which is even more juicy.
Well, and then I have to touch, right? Because I'm a healer, right? So I have to touch you. So at the beginning, I was really resisting it, and then there was a moment when my guy said, "Oops, I'm sorry, you're there. I lost you for a second."
There you go.
And for a minute, you know, the spirit said, "Hey, if you want to continue to do this, we have to get brave and go out there." And I was kicking and screaming, and they said, this is for your expansion, and this is for the expansion of everyone you touch, and you're ready.
Well, so that's the thing, is it's trusting that the energy and growing in yourself to that point where you realize that the energy that you exude right here will touch somebody on the other side of the earth. And it's not about, it's all about intention. And, you know, it's not just about how the hell does that change over a long, and I'm still working on it. I'm still working on the mental blocks that I have around long distance energetic. I have not done a soul code energy session for someone online yet. I'm about to practice it with someone who does light language, who I actually did because I kind of thought, you know, she's the perfect person because she'll give me feedback and she'll know exactly what I'm feeling. And she will feel the feeling too and give it back to me in the positive way that I need it for me to
build you up, build you up, and
because we need it. We can't just do it. And I'm not the kind, I'm so authentic and obsessed with that I will not do it until I felt it for myself and I know that it is like that. I'm not a wing it and fake it till you make it girl.
It's not being authentic, it's being extremely honest and ethical.
Yes
that
I'm obsessed with that.
Yes. So I used to get caught up with the whole authenticity thing, but it's not even about that, because I'm just me. I can't be someone else. So I'm just authentic, period.
And make peace
but
with
the level of but the level of respect and the level of that responsibility, that's what you're talking about, is the responsibility of that you are going to receiving value out of our conversation, out of our session. So that is very important. That tells me who you are, right? I'm like, sign me up. Love it.
Yes.
Fantastic. I want to be with someone that ethical.
Yes.
And then the other thing that a spirit just kind of said is, the same way that we just talked about how you went to Egypt and you were able to experience that, you expanded your energy at such a level. So why wouldn't you be able to touch and feel and impact people?
And thank you for bringing that up again, because obviously I needed to hear that today from someone on the other side of the world who's done the same stuff. And, that's the thing. That's how spirit works. It's really interesting. That is so, so fascinating, because right this morning, I'd actually signed up about a month ago to do a spiritual fair here in Wellington. And I was kicking against it because I thought, it's not what I want to do, but maybe I should practice more, and it's just actually come this morning that I'm not going to be able to go because my husband wants to go and do something. And I put him first in my life. I believe that he is he's really important to my growth and my stability. And I would rather go away with him for that weekend to go and do what he wants to do, because he's a fly fisherman. So we're going to go fly fishing.
What I call that is you understand your value.
Yes, my value is high in his, and I mean, a lot of people would disagree with us, but for me...
No. I don't think so, because you understand that your value is to find that security that he provides for you so that you can do what you love.
Absolutely.
So in terms of value, it's there's just no equal there.
It's like I'm not going to go and do 4 or 5 healings with people at a fair to give up that special time that I can have. And often we're standing in water, fly fishing in the sea, and I get my greatest downloads when we're doing that, because he likes fishing in the most remote places on earth.
So what you're saying is that by allowing the flow,
yes,
right, allowing the flow and not allowing what society tells you have to do. So this is decoding your code.
Yes.
That I am really listening to my pull and my own flow. I am filling my cup. Therefore, everyone else will benefit from it. I just love decoding that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I love it.
It is. It's wonderful. I mean, to me, yeah. I mean, I have a lot of friends that really sort of almost battle with the idea that I'm not available on weekends and in the evenings to chit chat and go to movies and whatever. And I don't, because my husband works, Monday to Friday, and he has contracted in this lifetime to give me that steadiness that I'm able to do this work, and I honor that so much. And plus the fact that I absolutely adore him. So,
Well, I mean, I'm telling you, when you find that valuable item that fills you, then you benefit, and everybody else really benefits more, because that's your gasoline, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you. I think, my whole mission is helping people understand that if you go and maybe, I mean, with me, I offer some art classes, and with the art classes, to me, if you are enjoying your art class, whatever you do that brings you joy, if it's flower arranging, or you love working in the garden, or riding a horse, or whatever brings you that utter joy, do more of that. Seek out more of that, because that is where the window to that openness, that opening into your intuition, opening in, because if you're sitting in that vibration all the time, you absolutely raise your vibration. It just gets higher and higher and higher.
Yeah. And also what you're doing is you're training your own self to really listen to what your true needs are.
Yes.
Yes. Right. So you're being very aware of saying, okay, my body needs a tea right now, and I'm going to honor that. So then the next time that your body's telling you it's time for you to pick up and move, you will do that, because now you have a conversation. You have an understanding of what is it that you really truly feel, not that you have to, but that you really feel resonates.
Exactly, because it's unlearning the patterning that you should be. You've done this, you've obligated, you have said that you would do that. Now you're going to go. It's, you know what? It is just, to me, learning to move past the guilt of making decisions like that, learning to go past the fact that this is what, you know, you're supposed to do. Society expects that. And it's having the courage to actually say, no, actually, you know what, this doesn't suit me. And you don't have to do it in a shitty way. It's always just done in a most loving, compassionate way. This is not working for me. I am not happy. I am choosing me because I'm a sovereign being. Would the queen choose to, you know, do something that doesn't resonate with her? No, never.
Yeah. So it's interesting because when I see teenagers that are about to make decisions about going and making it, you know, a choice of what they're going to go become, right? Yes. And, you know, I usually ask them simple things. So what do you think about this? Or what do you choose about that? And then they immediately go like, well, my parents want me to, I find my duty to be. And, you know, I know that it's that
conditioning starts so early. I mean, my daughter has luckily got a parent like me who I've said to her, you do what you love. She's been choosing her subjects recently. And I said to her, you choose what you love. The thing that lights you up the most, you follow that. And, you know, she has other friends that are parents are expecting them to be a doctor because, you know, it's the right thing to do. And this child just wants to be a piano teacher and have a family. And my heart breaks when I see that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why it's so important to have people like you and I in the world so that we can touch, right, and light up your daughter so that she can go touch and light up her friend.
Oh, absolutely. And the strength, you know, letting her know that when you are so, because she's like her, you know, she chose me for a reason and she chose her father for a reason. She made those contracts with us to come down and give her those basic fundamentals. And I mean, I'm sure I've given her lessons that she is going to have to unlearn. You know.
Don't worry. We had that conversation the other day that she's going to have to go to therapy for some things I have done or said. But,
well,
you know,
if she's like me, it'll be like, screw therapy. I'm doing this by myself.
Yes. That's pretty much my children.
It takes a bit longer, but I actually, you know what? I know I've got there by myself, which is, you know, part of the unlearning for me to learn that I can't do everything by myself.
Or sometimes you learn that doing it by yourself, it was maybe a little bit more difficult.
Yes.
Right?
It is. It's a bit tougher, but I trust now that I've opened up my channels so much that I trust my guidance now. Because growing up, I used to ask a lot of people what they thought, but I would just, I remember my father going, you ask everybody what they think, but then you do what you want to do anyway. I was like, yes, because it's like a sounding board for me. And now I trust my guides. And that guidance, that inner guidance is like, it's gold. It's because I know it comes from a place for my highest good.
Yeah, if we come from that place of, am I doing it because I really want to, or am I doing it because I have to? And lately, if I have to, it's not on my list.
No, I mean, my word for this year is ease.
Ooh, I like that.
Well, last year it was allowance. And boy, did I get tested with that. But yeah, if it's easy, it takes a lot of courage to turn around and go, if it's not easy, I'm not doing it.
No, but you're on target because fifth dimensional is supposed to be that way, right?
Exactly.
Fifth dimensional is supposed to be, hey, I don't know how, but that's what I want.
It's trust and ease, and it's just going to come. However the universe wants to shape me, it will eventuate, whether it's this or that or the next thing. It needs to be easy.
Says. says, you know, even if you don't see the path at this time, even better, because that means that because you made that choice, now that path gets created.
Exactly.
So that's what they want us to do, to focus on that and just say, hey, and all of a sudden, and it's there.
Yes. And that's the thing. I think, you know, like when you attach to something. So it's very tough, I think, for human beings to have this manifesting thing and goals and all that stuff without having the attachment into it. And it's learning.
I'm laughing because it's a lot of the work that I do is kind of help this three-dimensional, almost touching fourth dimension of, I know how to manifest, I know how to do it, into now you need to really feel it and it'll be quicker.
Exactly. Like, and allow it to happen. I mean, I have set myself a goal that I've been wanting for so long, and knowing that it's gonna happen. And I've had all the signs and everything, and all the signs have said, yes, that's 100%. And when I did some automatic writing around it, my guides turned around and said, it's a probability, but do not anchor into it, because there could be something that comes along that could even be better.
Yes, that's what they talk about all the time. If you attach to an outcome, if you have an attachment, just that word, right? Attachment, yes. Then you already are telling me what an expectation is and what it's the only way that you would allow it.
Exactly. As opposed to saying, I see so many people going, like, they put it into a box and they hold it in a compressed kind of thing. And I'm going, oh my word, have you ever thought, yes, you want to go and live in Bali for, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. But have you ever thought about the journey that may take you to Costa Rica maybe instead of Bali? You know, it's kind of like letting it go and allowing it just to unfold, but not just surrendering to it and actually saying, well, I can't do this anymore. I've actually got a podcast coming up like that, actually, because
actually what I tell people all the time is, I don't necessarily say this specific, I am this specific, but I don't give the specifics, right? So I say, thank you for allowing me to do every day what I love and get paid really well for what I do, right? So maybe today I get to go work at a studio with someone else or do a podcast with you, right?
It's the abundance that's tapping into that abundance.
I'm open to the possibilities of what the universe feels like I'm ready to receive.
Yes. Well, I must admit, I've kind of got to that point now where I've always been fixated on trying to get people to understand how valuable my artworks are, and that this is so amazing. And I've had so many messages to let go of that. And it's a massive, massive thing, because it's almost like it was ingrained in me. And I built on that moss ball, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I have now realized that I am open to the possibility of all abundance coming towards me. It doesn't matter how it comes. And I mean, I've realized the abundance comes through my husband, you know, because he gets absolutely brilliantly, you know, he's really well respected in his field. So like for me,
so that's the thing, Spirit, you are filling your cup, right? He is filling your cup by giving you the security. Exactly. You're getting to create the life that you desire. So Spirit is going to continue to provide that stability so that you can do what you love.
Exactly. And that's the thing. I think, you know what, once I clicked into that, because I always had guilt around the fact that he was the breadwinner. And, you know, once I decided to go specifically pursue the artistic route, it was a tough hill from that. And coming into a country that's quite less materialistic, there's not a lot of disposable income, you know, and obviously coming in with the kind of paintings that I did was quite radical, you know, at the time as well. So that it was all like stuff that I had to learn to release all this preconceived thing of how I wished it to be.
Well, it sounds like also how you wish to be perceived.
Yes, absolutely. The ego is massive. Your ego is what drives you forward. So, and I
Yeah.
go at like hell bent for leather. So clearly I'm
Yeah.
going to have a bigger ego, but it's learning to sort of, I won't even say temper the ego, but understand that the ego is there to help us go forward, but
Yeah.
not
So
let it lead.
I think what you're saying is, all you're needing is the clarity to understand what is your goal from whatever makes you happy.
Yes, and
Right.
the learning is not to have those goals where, oh, this and this and this, but actually learning that just be
Yes. Yes.
is the secret.
Yes.
To just
So I like to
be.
say, I give myself permission to be an artist. I
Yes.
give myself permission to be very successful at being an artist. I give myself permission to sell as many paintings as I desire, right?
Yes.
So when I say I give myself permission, then I'm really saying like, psh, and it's done.
Well, this is the thing. It's being, abundant in having the choices. For me, my biggest thing is freedom. I want to be
Oh,
free.
yes.
I don't
Oh,
want to
yes.
be constrained about, oh, I'm a life coach and I have to do 50, 100 people every day, talking to them. To me, I want to be able to pivot and change my direction and go, oh, today, you know what, I'm teaching young kids the confidence to believe in their art. Oh, tomorrow I'm actually doing a soul guidance reading, and having that freedom to operate in that. That's my true
Yes, because you're
calling.
many things. You're not just one, right?
No.
At the beginning, we're introducing ourselves. This way, but I call myself a fruit salad because I have all. I am.
Well, this is the thing. I think when you're multi-talented and you tap into that multi-dimensionality, you realize that, oh my word, you know what, I can do anything that I want to. And I've
It's just
always
that at the
grown up with
beginning,
that belief. But then it gets very confusing when you're trying to fit into a 3D society.
Yes, because at the beginning I was like, I have a little bit of apple, so maybe I'm an apple.
Yes.
Oh, no. Maybe I really need to focus on being an orange. Oh, no. Maybe I really need to focus my business and make it a banana. And then I was like, wait a minute. I can't isolate. I cannot isolate.
I get bored.
I can't do it.
If somebody said to me, you want to be a coach? And I went, yes, I love coaching. I love talking to people. But the thought of helping people all day long in one thing would drive me. I can't do that.
No,
I don't want to.
You're just doing it through your paintings. You're doing it through this conversation.
Exactly.
You're doing it through standing at the lake, fly fishing with your husband.
Exactly. Or talking to the checkout girl and going, oh my goodness, what is the weather doing today? I believe that the higher we raise our vibration, the more we're going to exude this amazing energetic force out of us, that we will touch people just by being in their presence.
That is from spirit. That is our only job. Yes. My only job is to light up.
Yes.
And touch. Light up and touch.
And that is why exactly. That's why this podcast is called Raise Your Vibe with Michelle, because I thought I have got so much light to give. And it's just, to me, I want people to smile and look up and be happy and realize that this is such a gift to be here.
It is. And inspiring to so many other people, right?
Exactly.
Inspiring to so many people who are going through the same things that we are, or maybe thinking about it, or feel like, man, I'm really good at coaching, but my heart.
Yeah, there's not such a thing. A lot of spiritual people who are now starting to wake up fully, and they realize, oh, I can do this, and they're training something, and they want to just focus on that. And I'm going, oh my word, it's like you say, a fruit salad. Pick the strawberry today. Why do you have to only pick strawberries for the rest of your life? For God's sake, enjoy the fruit salad.
Mix it up. I call it, another tool in my toolbox. If you come in, then I'll open my drawer and I say, okay, which one am I get to play with today?
Exactly. What am I going to help you with? Because I can help you with so much. and I can help you, you know, just rise up into your full potential.
Yes. Remind you of your full glory.
Exactly. It's the reminding, because I've realized I'm a messenger. I want to remind you, it's reminding you of that remembrance of the fact that you're this galactic being, that you have so much potential and you can do whatever you like and you can live the most incredible life. But it is it's like switching on, and if you work with me, I open the channels for you. I'm like a chimney sweeper.
So it's interesting because Spirit just showed me that you have the key from the handcuffs.
Yes, exactly. To just, you know, a lot of people will come and they'll have a session with me and they'll go away and there won't be this profound shift. And then over the months later, I will watch them and I will see, you are starting to make aligned decisions now. I see the path, but they've forgotten that they came to see me and had that absolute chimney sweep through that beautiful alignment into this great energy that we have available to us.
Yeah, that we allow, right? That we're welcoming. We're saying, hey, come on, go through me.
More of it. I want more of it. That's why I'm doing these monthly meditation evenings, because I thought everyone needs to be able to sit in guided meditation and access the Pleiadian energy, access Lemurian energy, access Kuan Yin energy, access the goddess energy. Because when you open it and you just open that key, oh my word, you can go back there and sit there again and pull it in.
Yeah. And part of what you're doing is actually bigger than that, Michelle. What you're giving is you're giving people the opportunity to feel connected.
Yes.
To feel that they're not much different than someone else. And feel the support now, right? Because they're not the only ones having this experience.
No.
Now you're giving them the opportunity to experience it with other people, even if they're not in the same room, even if they know that they're just being connected. So now they're in their minds are being literally physically connected to something.
Yes. Lit up from the inside and just boom into it. It's incredible.
Yeah, I do this. I call them intuitive happy hours. And they're every other Thursday, and it's a group of us, and we sit down and we meditate and we discuss things and we practice things.
It's fabulous. And I called mine Courage Cafe, because it was just come in and let's have a cup of coffee and let's just, you know,
just be right. Just feel connected. Feel connected. Feel like, you know, you're not going through this journey alone.
No.
And my favorite part is when they start sharing and their faces when they go like, oh, I felt that too. Oh, I thought it was crazy.
I know.
Oh,
I do these spiritual art workshops where I show you, and we do guided meditations to connect into the energy, and then we do the actual artwork that will become the portal for you. And you know, that I had a lady who wasn't quite open. You know, she'd been brought up in quite a Catholic sort of situation and was believed in the angels, was like very open about it, but still kind of like whatever. And we were sitting around and we did this meditation, and she sat there and she just said to me, oh my God, I'm getting goose flesh all over. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling it. It's moving through my body. And I'm going, yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, it's because you open her consciousness. You allow her to be able to feel safe so that she could pursue it, right? Because a lot of the time it's about that. It's about, you know, knowing that you have someone catching you.
Exactly. And you know what? It's so interesting because a lot of people come into our like field and you watch them get lit up and move on, and they don't even think about it. And I've always had quite a big frustration about the fact that I cannot explain what I do.
I can't either.
I've been working on my throat chakra, and I've got a singing bowl that I use on my throat chakra. And I'm like, I think I have to explain this, but you've got to feel it, because we come from a realm where it's about feeling. It's not about, you know, so
it's that's a true intuitive being, right? The knowingness of what's needed and being okay with just experiencing it, right?
Yes,
It's not anymore about where'd you learn to do that and where are the steps and, where do I study that? It's more of a, let's figure out what feels good to you.
Exactly.
And then that
When
would
you
unlock
feel that power moving through your body. Oh my God. And I liken it, and I'm going to go there because it can be quite uncomfortable for some people, but orgasm is actually the closest that we have to that divine feeling of that movement, of that energy coming through us. And I keep saying, it's like, oh my God, can't you not believe that that's so amazing? Because that is an incredible feeling. And if you do it right and it works, and it's like boom. And yet we've got access to that power right now.
Yes. It's just that we're being taught that that's not necessarily first of all, that's not something we talk about.
Well, that's to say, conservative societies are, oh my God, she went there.
Right. Well, that, and then the second thing is that, we have to be very private, and then it's a shameful thing, and it's a thing that is, kept secret. And when we find out that this is an amazing way of manifesting and connecting and empowering, and
absolutely, that energy that you feel in your body is available to us. You can walk around like that, in that energy. And it's not a sexual energy. It's an energetic feeling. It's an energetic energy.
It is not. I usually, when I started meditating, I had that first time where you meditate and you feel the vibration and you feel the ecstasy, because there's no other way that I can
explain. There's no words to describe it.
There's no words to describe it. I remember telling my husband, I can get away with sex. Like, I don't need sex anymore. I found something better.
Pack out all the stuff. I don't need you anymore. Off we go.
I don't need you anymore. I'm going to go meditate.
Well, on that note, I think we are definitely going to have part 2 of this conversation. So
anytime.
Absolutely. I'm going to thank you so much. Where can people go and find you?
They can find me at aquaauradallas.com, or on Facebook, Aqua Aura Dallas, or just my name, Andrea Housey.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. It's been fabulous.
Thank you for having me. This is so funny how this happened. I am just so grateful for you, and it was so much fun.
Brilliant. Okay, I'm going to stop recording now. Others, we're just going to carry on.
Perfect.